that this has started. Alright, so, now, we don't need to see this. So, apparently I did an update on my streaming software, and now my webcam is no longer a recognized device. So I'm using whatever this is. I hope it's working. First time I've used this. Okay, so, actually, I need that all of the time. Actually, no I don't, because there's no switching of tabs. This will always be open. Check. Alright, so, without further ado, let's get into this. Now, this morning, I've been like a little bit inspired as of late, if you haven't observed this yet. Yeah, you can see me here. Alright, so, voila, okay. What have I been like kind of honing in on lately? I've been talking about diamonds, silver and gold, things of value in the world of today. Monetary value items. Now, you determine the wealth of an individual based on their worth of monetary valued things, I would have to presume, right? That would be correct. Now, diamonds. AG, AU, if gold is smaller, and if gold is just the 4, 5, 7, and the 7, 6, all that stuff, it's all in the small and center. It's smaller. It's a smaller word, but silver is a larger word, and it is still more balanced and bigger. In the periodic table, it calls it AG instead of AU, which like kind of makes like a, anyways, an AU. Who gives a shit? Okay. I want to talk to you about the very first thing that's mentioned right here. I don't care about all this stuff. Yeah, I will call out anyone. I have no fear. Okay, it's about being not afraid. Having nothing left to lose. If you have nothing left to lose, you have no fear. And that means you have no fear of death. Because I think I understand death. Now, ye are the light of the world. Okay, first of all, I am nothing special. Nothing special. I had no control over certain aspects of my life, like the birth time and the giving of the name that I have. But everything that I have been doing, working on, seems to be kind of somewhat related to my name, which just means that maybe it's meant to happen. Maybe I was meant to grow up a friggin' nerd in school. Maybe I was always meant to grow up as a numbers kid. No one taught me about numbers. I was just a numbers kid. Maybe I was meant to go through school and just with the ideology that if I just worked hard and did good in school, everyone would leave me alone. And yes, that worked, and it was perfectly fine. Then I thought that, okay, what do I want to do with my life? I don't know, school's almost over, I might as well choose the university thing. So great, I choose engineering physics because it sounded hard. That's the reason, guy. I don't care what you think, it's Christmas time. Went into that unknowingly. I thought it'd be all about like the physics that I liked. I thought engineering physics can be about motion. Apparently that's mechanical engineering. They learned all that stuff. But whatever. I like to do things like if a train is going on the tracks at this many miles per hour and it passes it. I like that stuff. But that's not what engineering physics was. No. That was about infinitesimally small atoms, and they're calculating their spin or their mass or some weird constant bullshit way harder than it needed to be to understand pretty much the building blocks of tininess of everything, which really in my world wasn't very practical. Didn't really ever come into use in my future career. It never really did anything for me. Maybe other than the whole philosophy part of it all, which is kind of like my own doing as of late. I think we should all be philosophers. We should all be thinking, why are we here? What is my purpose? If you think your purpose is to pass butter, then keep on keeping on. I found the infinite knot. The infinite knot is important because you have a choice to make. It's all about numbers, I think. It's about understanding numbers and breaking any situation down into dots and lines, including death. Now, Cheers to death, guy. Okay, I'm a little freaked out because in this thing it said like I don't want to die or something, and like it's like wherever it is. I mean, I should like really take some time. Like, let's just read the list because it's friggin' hilarious to me. Like, you have to ask yourself, like, is this all actually happening? Okay, so like, yeah. What did I look up? Good morning rant about silver and gold because like I'm thinking at night. Like, sure, ye are the light of this world. Okay, again, back to light. I'm gonna do the death. Let's do the death thing. I've done it to death, guy. What do they say in the movies and everything when you die? Don't go towards the light. Now, what does that mean? You have to understand the light to make this decision, is what I believe. Okay, I think inevitably everyone goes to the light. It seems to guide you, and we're all little sheep. And we like to be shown which way we have to go, and we will follow. I will follow. That line is this line. It's the line in the infinite knot going from 110 to the 8. But it doesn't have to go to the 8. It could go to the 13. Now, I know it might not look good. Maybe for Christmas I'll get an HD web camera and a better computer and all these funny things. But I'm rocking it old school, and I'm not complaining, but it might be more difficult for you, the viewer. I don't know, I'd print this out. I think it's pretty important. Like, take out your notebook, guy. So, this is essentially an infinite knot. It makes 7, all that stuff. I did videos on how this mimics, what is it? Vortex math. This aspect of this matrix is all of vortex math. Packaged up. But it's too simple. I know. Keep it simple, stupid, right? No. Make it harder. We have to do everything as hard as possible to convince ourselves that it makes sense. Because if it's that simple, there's no possible way it could make sense, right? What are you? You are a being of light. Because everything in Earth that you observe is just magnetized light. Einstein, energy is equal to magnetism times consciousness squared of the observer. You are a universe. Everything is here for you. When you die, what do you take with you? Okay? You think your soul floats out of your flesh? No. No, you are a one. And like, I think I would fight that. I think I would be like, no. I don't like losing my parts. Like, okay, again, back to the whole. Let's get back to jewelry and the idolatry. Okay, I know people have earrings. I'm not slandering anyone who has a nose ring or who got their ears widened and can't be shrunk back to normal size ear. Okay, you made a conscious decision in your life as an observer, as a god. You haven't created a galaxy yet, so it's not that type of infinite creator god. It's like a lower version of like, you are a lost child and you're making it through. And when you do things in life, you are writing your own story. You are writing your own Bible. You make decisions because you make decisions that only you can understand based on everything else that's happened in your life. It's your faith, your knowledge, and your discernment of any situation. And when you make a decision, whether if you know it's a bad decision, but it's also a good decision, and you choose to make a bad decision because of the short-term good side of it, you know what? You're infallible, right? You will defend what you've done. Doesn't matter if it's bad or good. Just any little trivial thing. Turning left instead of right one day. Okay? You can't be criticized for what you do. No one has the authority to judge you based on anything you've ever done. Okay? But you should be conscious enough to actually learn from your mistakes. Now, I love making mistakes, and I've made plenty of mistakes. And anyone that knows me probably knows a whole collection, like a novel of mistakes that Kevin's made, which is awesome, because I don't want this job. Okay? I don't. I want to fade away. I want to be like, look at all this shit. Huh? Fix the world, the people. Let me just have one and go away, and you guys can continue doing whatever. That's all I want. Like, people are not going to want to interview me. I don't want to talk to people. Okay? I don't want to. I'm not going to play games, guy. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Okay? So somebody else better get up to speed to do all that shit if they want to. But I don't want to do that. Man, back to death, right? I'm the angel of death, okay? The first time I met my significant other's family, drove all the way there. They went and talked. I don't know what they talked. Anyway, I'm sitting there with stepdad and stepbrother, and I'm like, I don't know anybody here. What's going on? And like that time of whateverness, I think the movie Thor came out, and Thor has a villain called. I still haven't seen that movie. I think I tried to watch it once, but passed out of a sheer exhaustion because I think I was renovating. This character, bad guy named Loki, apparently. Apparently, like the stepbrother was like, "You look like Loki," and I'm like, I don't know what that is or who that is. No, it's like we went to the theater and saw. Yeah, he kind of does look like Loki. I put in Dogma the other day. My VHS copy of Dogma comes, of course, with a preview to movies other than Dogma, and one of them was like the Lucha Report guy with the the anti-Holocaust guy with the samples, and Dr. Death it was called. And if you watch that trailer or watch the intro to that movie and don't see cellular energy, like he's in a friggin' Taurus feral cage with two one-dimensional lines and two singularities on top, zapping him with energy, and he electrocutes people anyways, and knows how to like I was like, this actually exists. Okay. And it actually happened in Canada and all that stuff. But that's besides the point. Okay. I can't talk about everything. I can't talk about that. I don't know much about that. But that was there. Anyways, back to Dogma. Okay, but Matt Damon's character, who is he? He's Loki. Who's Loki? The angel of death. Now, that could just be a synchronicity or a coincidence or whatever, but I thought that was pretty funny the other day when I was revisiting life in my head and saw that on Dogma and then thought of that story that happened and just was like, alright, Matt Damon, like blonde, blue hair, blonde, whatever, Aryan looking motherfucker. Loki, angel of death, wants to cut off his wings to become human, to enter the thing and ruin it for everyone. What an asshole, right? Yeah, I want to ruin it for everyone, guy. Like, literally, I can't watch movies anymore. I can't, like, I can watch them because I know what they are now. But, I mean, I get excited when I watch a movie for the first time once again because, like, I can't think about it. Like, I can't think about a movie I've seen in the past and be able to use this to decode it. Like, I have to put it on, and once I put it on, it's like real time. You're like, look at what's happening, look what they're talking about. They're talking about this point of view. Put yourself in that point of view, you can get a lot out of the movie, you can get a lot out of the song. It doesn't matter what genre, they all do it. It doesn't have to be a music video, you can hear it sometimes. And the ones that are bigger do a better job at symbolizing creation. It's as simple as that. And if you are in a world where you are constantly being super saturated with creation code by people in the know and you are unknowing, do you think it will rub off on you after an eventual amount of time? I'm hoping that's what happened to Kevin. Again, I'm nothing special. I'm a really good problem solver, I'm a really good troubleshooter, and critical thinker because I'm very critical. Huh? Savvy? Put it together. There's nothing special. Okay, my name is interesting. Okay, Armageddon is one of 4 of 5 of 6 of 0. If we don't count for the circle all around and you look for Kevin, it's like the first three is, sorry, these three at the end, 5, 6, 0. That's your K. That's your E. Your V is the only thing that goes below because it'll be these three and the 7 below. But you need a below bit to make a heart because 3 makes 4, makes 5, makes 6, makes 7. Okay. Now, V-I-N. So it's all on Armageddon except for one little piece of the V, which is the 7. So that's just making like a weird heart, right? It's like a 1 by 5 with 1 sticking below. Kind of looks like a big fat heart, right? That like hugs everyone, hopefully. Now my last name, Janik, will be the first 3. That's your J. That's your A, or that's your A, whatever. I think 3, A, N, O, K. K, sorry, these two. That one's entirely on Armageddon. Interesting to me. That's all. It's an observation. I don't have anything. I'm nothing special. You can find your name in this diamond just as well as I can find my name in this diamond. Okay? When I was a kid, I didn't even. I've lost teeth. I've lost teeth. I haven't. I don't have any piercings. I don't have any tattoos. But if someone were to put an extra hole in their body, what do you think that does to balance of the individual? Now, I'm not knocking it, but if you know what you're doing, then see, or if it's already happened and it's like can't be undone, just see the new number. Maybe that will help you in decoding. Why did that just go off? Maybe that'll help you in decoding like reality for a bit. Okay? I hope it's still on. I don't know. That's never happened before. Alright, it looks like it's on. Alright, so same thing with tattoos. If you're like changing cells. Okay, back to death. Okay? You are a being of light. You have atoms in you. Let's think of Dr. Manhattan. Okay, Dr. Manhattan is the character from The Watchmen, which is a, graphic novel, to not offend or insult the graphic novelists, likers of in life. So, Dr. D. Manhattan. Let's just roll with that. Dr. Manhattan. Okay, what does that make? It makes a goalpost, but it's rotated 90 degrees. Okay, you see it? If that's your H and that's your M, that's your goalpost, which is a 1x2. That's a goalpost, which is a 1x2. They're all connected by a 1x3. And then the middle of it has a 1x2 going to the, say, ground, the beginning of Dr. Manhattan. He's making a Y that's rotated. A Y that's rotated 90 degrees. Alright, so Dr. Manhattan, from a certain point of view, symbolizes that. What happens to Dr. Manhattan before whatever his name is becomes Dr. Manhattan? He goes into a room. Oh, before that, he's a smart guy. He could have figured out creation code, maybe to be a watchmaker. You need to understand the fourth dimension of time. Now, back in the day, however they manufacture and machine all those little teensy-weensy parts that are super delicate and precise for, let's say, pocket watches. Like, really? We can make little pocket watches that hold time, but we can't make a refrigerator or washing machine that lasts more than 10 years? But we've been to the moon? Okay, capitalism in general is designing products for the goy that are designed and engineered to fail so that there's a continuous need for industry and markets which can be exploited by assholes that know this. And those, you know who they are. They're the top of the 1% I'm talking about. Not your lower level Mason guys. But they're all striving to fuck over enough people to get up get up the next step. Get up the next step. When all you have to do is look at everything around you in terms of dots and lines and start over. Just, you know nothing. Start with dots and lines. Understand the Roman numerals. Try to understand the number sequence. Try to understand the alphabet. Try to put it all together in terms of creation. Now, what I did with my little experiment is that I was lost. I tried everything. Getting tired of trying everything. I literally was going to give up to the point where I bought myself a Bible. And it couldn't just be any Bible. I had to go to like special bookstore to go find a red letter edition of the King James Bible because I remembered it had Elohim instead of God in it, which it doesn't. It says God, which is weird. But it had red letters. Red letters are cool because I was like, it's not just black letters, right? Thinking that I was going to read this and kind of come out of it with something. Well, I didn't get past the first page. Let's just put it that way. Okay? I wanted to find Fibonacci in the Bible. I think I did that. And beyond. I'm doing this to better the world so that your children can grow up, or the children of people that you like can grow up in a better world. Okay? Now, let's think of Tony Montoya for a second. I know, he talks about things in a roundabout way. I understand that. Oh yeah, this was a great one. You want Torn? Yeah, I had to listen to Torn. But first of all, let's just do this. Tony Montoya was called Scarface. First you get the money. Very important. Money, power, women. Alright, so money, power, women. Money. We're talking about knowledge of creation and cellular mathematics, which is hidden from you. But hidden in plain sight, and pretty much everything created from, let's say, the King James Bible to, I don't know, a movie called Avatar. Sure, it pokes out at me from my wall of code. Money, power, women. Okay, so money, power is those four, and women is the 23 in the middle. So it's leaning to the right, I'd say, in balance, right? So money would be the 1 by 3 here. Power would be a 1 by 4 going from 6 to 1. You know? And women would be the W, would be the cross. So you got to know the right to derive the left. I keep saying that. You need to know the right hand of God, the knowledge, to understand the cipher and the pattern, to be able to create the left side, which is going to be different, okay? Because it's just, I knew it wasn't going to be a mirror image. It had to be different. And you get different shapes. Like this one's a hypercube. This one looks like a daisy with a stem and little petals hanging off here. Anyways, and this one looks like a giant, like, shovel going in the ground. And this one's like a plant growing into a tree. Like, it's just so full of symbolism. How are you fighting me on this? Okay, so
this country, you gotta make the money first.
Okay, you gotta understand the money aspect of creation.
Then when you get the money, you get the power. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Alright, so maybe like the only time I'm gonna like actually have a conversation with the one that I, favor more than any other one will be after I make power. That's just divine. Thanks, Tony.
That's why you gotta make your own moves.
Well, that's why you gotta make your own moves. Right. Yeah, look at this one. Kinda panned off on the last one about like Silverchair. I understand this. Like kinda roundabout way, right? Silverchair. They're talking about silver. How silver's better than gold. Why aren't they called Gold Chair? So Silverchair came out with an album called Frog Stomp. Alright. F. Everything in Armageddon is R. O. G. S. T. O. M. And those four. P. Frog Stomp. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Like, let's just take a look. Alright. Oh, look, top tracks. Thank you. Silverchair Music is an S. Miss You Love. Tomorrow. Freak. Anna Song. Open Fire. Anthem for the year 2000. Israel's Son. Straight Lines. Abuse Me. Pure Massacre. The Greatest View.
My name's Tom Stellaro.
What the fuck is this? I'm probably wondering why you have arrows on you, but I'm just go away. What is this? The Greatest View. Really? Wow. What is this? When you want no one and you've got someone? Through the wind you crawl and laugh at burning dunes when no one else will ever see? When no one else will ever see. Now that you know why you feel like you do, they're turning their head whilst they wait for no one, and finally I know why you feel like letting go. Wow. No, I'm too stubborn to let go. I'm just gonna get angrier. So, like, help me out, guy. I'm watching you watch over me, and I've got the greatest view from here. I wonder what point of view that's coming from. I'm watching you watch over me, and I've got the greatest view from here. Mistakes don't mean a thing if you don't regret them. So pack your tactic toes for the winter. It's fucking cold outside, guy. Chain a waterfall. My god, chain and waterfalls. Really, really, guy. You know, like the chain that is like the train or the chain, the links of chain, and the waterfalls is Fibonacci. Oh my god. I I I don't even know what to say. I don't know where it was, but chain and waterfall, two burned and withered skin. No one else will ever see. Wow, I hope not. Okay. Alright, so that was just. There you go. Sure. How about this one? Oh, you son of a. Hey, I like quiet ones. How do I get to the bottom? It's so big. I know CPU usage doesn't like me. Go away. How do I make you the. Yeah. Oh my god. We don't need to hear all that, but we should. Damn it, no lyrics. Wow. You'll never follow me? Really? Yeah, meaning. I mean, look up the meaning of that and go away. I will never bother you. I've never promised to. I will never follow you. I will never bother you. Never say a word again. I will crawl away for good. I will move away from you. You won't be afraid of fear. I like that one. Let's talk about death for a second. When you die. Let's go back to this, you know? Um, ye are the light of the world. Okay, it's just bizarre how this happens. You're dead. You are a one. You're a light, let's say. But that light is made of atoms and systems, and you've millions of atoms and cells in you, and they're all lights, guy. Not only that, but like, they shine so bright you just look like a one. But you gotta know that you're made of like million little lights. Okay, so your one light's there. You're chilling. Don't go into the light. You see a light. Where's that? That's home. Okay, that's where your soul comes from. Your soul was born into the flesh on a certain day inside of Earth. Okay, came here by a one-dimensional line into you. Now, if you're like dead as a being of light and there's like a light and that's home, I think that's the trick. I think that's this, going from 110 to the 8. You're sitting at 110. Okay? I don't know, like, that's where you are. And you got a choice. You can go to the 8, or you can go to the 13. It's all about what you know about V's. Now, this is what happens. If you're making a V, are you the bottom dot or are you the top dot? Ah, that's an interesting question. Now let's throw in a little wrench to the whole thing. The concept of soulmate or twin flame. Now, even though you died, you still have a linkage with your soulmate or twin flame. So let's say there's another light that you can see. Another one. Now, to connect to your twin flame, I think that you'd have to be the top dot. I don't like to think of myself as the bottom dot. It's where you came from. You bring it with you, but you don't get rid of it. You don't go back. You can't go back. You created something. If you go back here and you do it all over again. So maybe that's what they mean when they say the crossroads of life. You've reached to this point, and you're either going to go back this way into the washing machine of life and be recycled and brought back as something else or someone else or whatever, based on whateverness. Or you can go forward. Now, going forward, I mean, maybe you wake up, you know? Maybe the human body is somewhat designed to, like, be able to die and be reborn, like, what is it, 3 days later? You celebrate it every year, some people. Now, what happens in Star Wars? You will never be as powerful as Vader. What does Vader do? He forgives his son. There's like a forgiveness aspect and sees the wrongness in his ways. And rather than see his son die, he would rather sacrifice his own life, the ultimate sacrifice, right? To not have that happen. Okay. Now imagine this. Death Star blows off, right? You know, Luke drags Darth Vader onto the ship, goes down, you know, onto the inside walls of the beach ball called Endor, where he pretty much right away burns him. Now, come back from that, right? Being burned, alive, like alive. You know, you get 3 days to come back. Let's say. Let's just say, if the G's are us and Jesus came back 3 days later, well, we just assume that everyone can come back 3 days later. You just have to believe because it's all in your head. If you believe you can get hurt, like you can get hurt. Okay, I don't have a, like I don't fear getting hurt. It's an inconvenience to get hurt physically. Wouldn't say I'm, you know, there's got to be like one asshole out there. Like imagine you say that if you don't fear death, you can't die. There's gonna be an asshole out there that's going, oh yeah, you don't think you can't die? Watch, stab, stab, stab. Look at you, you're dead. I know they come back in Game of Thrones all the time. Say a little spell, right? Maybe if you get enough belief from the people around you, anyone can come back. But anyway, so he burns Darth Vader. How does Darth Vader come back from that? You know, as a soul in the flesh. Now you're all like chemical reaction, little pieces of ash. Good luck with that, right? What happens in The Watchmen to Dr. Manhattan, who is a sideways why? He gets like zapped. He's a watchmaker. He knows about time. Maybe about the creation of devices that can read and keep time. Keep time going. Keep time going in an infinite period. Now, he gets literally like, I don't know. I can't even explain what they were doing. Let's just say every atom in his body was separated from every other atom in his body. And then throughout the course of the movie, a little bit after, he's slowly seen by other people reassembling his atoms via the systems of his body, which he has 11 of. Finally figures it out, reassembles his body, because what? He was like head over heels in love, and he didn't want to die. He refused to die that much. He was able to reassemble himself from atoms. Now I'm saying if someone were to come up to me and put me full of holes, I'm not saying that I can like stop bullets here. At all. Because I'm nothing special. I'm just some guy who literally hates everyone to the point where, I don't know, I have to come up with an immaculate proof so that, now that's the definition of ignorance. If you hate someone based on whatever reason you have from your point of view, and you are not able to take in the data or the information that they're selling because you hate something about that person so much, that's like the definition of ignorance, guy. You gotta like literally, like I need to cause conflict with people. I need to shake you. I can't literally shake you. I wouldn't want to shake you. But literally to crush a paradigm and to crush like music and like movies and I don't know, religions and I don't know, government, I don't know, news, I don't know, everything. It gotta kind of be a little bit controversial, I'd say. You know, I'm there's no playbook of life on what I'm doing. I'm just trying to put it together. So, anyways, a sideways Y for Dr. Manhattan. It also looks like an axle with a magnet sticking on it, right? It's just another granularity of an energy wheel, which is exactly what the YT is, or the U-tube. It's just a big giant T. It's the 2 to make the T, and the 3 to make the Y, the 32. Now get this. When you're down here at 110 and you have to make a decision between the 8 and the 13, okay? Now, what is 110 and 8? Okay, let's just break it down. 8, 9, 10, 11 for the 110 numbers. 0 is 1. 3 11. Circle this, 12, 13. Circle the whole thing, 14. So the cellular math between 8 and 110, when you circle the cells, like the whole 110, and like not the 1, 1 and 0, but just the whole 110, the whole 8, and the 8 110, you get 14. Now there's 14 axles in the cellular energy model. Okay, 8 on the vertices, 6 on the faces. What else is there? Oh, I had it earlier. It was like 32. This is why I shouldn't rant and then not record. Man, if only I can remember. It had something to do with 160, and I got 160 how? 32s, and 5 of them, because you're making a V. Anyways, if you understand 14, 14 is just what? A circled 13. Look what's here, circled 13. Okay? If you look at the other end of the line, okay, like an infinite line, okay, there is a light coming at you. A dot, circled, with you, which has an 8 at the other end, which looks kind of infinite to Kevin. And if you're to understand that that infinite line, from the perspective of an outside observer between you and it, would be somehow related to a 14, which is a circled 13, I'd be looking for another option. I wouldn't want to go towards the 8. Not only would I wouldn't be looking for a 13, I'd be looking for the backwards of a 13. I'd be looking for a 31. And I've been seeing a lot of 13 and 31s in the gematria lately. Now the 31 is important because like 13 still circled. They're circled. So this is the connection, I guess. A 14 is a circled 13 is a circled 31, which is a 32. 32, I got it now. 32 is important because there are 32 magnets on each of the rings inside heaven in cellular energy. And if you know you're making a V, your options are go to the 8 or go to the 13, which is a 31 circled, which is a 32, and you're making a V. 32 times 5 is 160. And you know that this is equal to 14. There are 174 magnets inside of heaven in cellular energy. Now, isn't that a friggin' coincidence? And I'm talking about figuratively looking at lights when you die. Okay? Now, if you know that your one is comprised of atoms, and you, let's say, have infinite number of atoms in you, individual singularities of light, what could you count for in the earth that equates to like infinite? How about all the other people? How about all the other dogs? How about all the other cats? How about all the other blades of grass? How about all the insects, all the dirt? We are one. And when we start thinking like that, you see a lot more lights in the sky when you're dead, don't you? Not just the trap of returning home to be reincarnated in the cell as something else. So maybe that one light that's in the sky, or those two lights in the sky of your soulmate, start to get a little blurry by all the other lights of everything that represent your oneness of infinite ones. just like everyone else and everything else. Okay? We are all creators. We all create in our own unique way. You can do the same thing that I do with the gematria and decoding of my words and my reality in the way that I do that probably no one really understands by operating in truth from your own voice. Now, what does God have? God has the voice. The voice that creates numbers that you can't see. You can hear them. I think the galaxy somehow is in tune with those numbers via some sort of, there is no library or Akashic record in heaven. There's no like library of scribes writing things down in there. It's not the Matrix. You don't visit Will Ferrell dressed up as Colonel Sanders from Kentucky Fried Chicken to get the answer to everything when you become a one. However, the word Akashic record is a certain number, and we refer to that idea by that word for a reason. I don't know what it is. Someone made that word up, and it became accepted. And it was probably created by the people in the know. So it means number, or it's a complete happenstance now. So that's the other thing. It's like signs. Like, do you believe in signs, or do you believe that everything just happens for a reason and whatever? I believe that people are going to do whatever they do because they think very strongly about their truth, and they try to be good people and act in truth. When what they know as truth couldn't be any farther from the truth, based on the constant bombarding of truth hidden in plain sight of all these creations by man, telling you a bullshit story. The Bible is an example of how one can live their life. Don't commit it to memory. That would be a waste of time. A child knows the difference between right and wrong. Think like a child. I know that when you're in an environment where everyone is looking out for number one, which is not you, it creates conflict because no one is okay being without. Everyone has a fear of lack, and they will walk right over you to be first in line, trust me. More or less. People. I'm trying to show people simplistically by using death now, I guess. That the concept of a soulmate gives you the impression that there is at least one person in Earth not worth leaving. But when you think about it, and you expand on yourself as a one, and you tack on a shitload of zeros to that, and you think of all the other things in Earth, maybe that light, that darkness, starts to fade away by all the light, and you wake up to reality. Back to reality. Oops, there goes gravity. You gotta, wow, lose yourself, guy. In the moment. Wow. I am the least gangster person that ever has existed, but I find it hilarious, so I choose to be partially gangsta. That's why I had to own Wu-Tang. That's over there now. I move things. Why would people hide this from you? Because they don't want you to cheat death? And I'm not going to say I know how to cheat death, but come on. If diamonds and gold and silver aren't enough for these people, what else do they look for? The fountain of youth, the cup of Christ, eternal life. Eternal life might be possible by just having a certain point of view imprinted on your brain. I want a Mexican, not a Mexicant. Don't tell me what's not possible. Don't tell me. It makes me angry. It makes me want to prove you wrong. I will go to the limits of the earth to prove you wrong. Sometimes. Nothing is impossible. I'd have it etched in my tombstone when I die, but I don't think it's going to happen. Okay, maybe like that's the thing. Deadpool. You can't kill Deadpool. He's got control over what? Time. He knows exactly where to be at exactly the right time. Because why? He knows the truth. And if you act and operate in truth, in the most fucked up way possible, you're invincible. We all have our own point of view. We're not all crazy sadistic. Well, there's Deadpool and me, but no one else is like that. Embrace your inner retard? I don't know, guy. You gotta get out of your comfort zone. Yeah. Be Indiana Jones, man, and cross that canyon. You gotta take that leap of faith. You gotta put that foot down. See what happens. I'm just... No thought was put into this. I always knew it would come to this. Things have never been so swell. I have never failed to fail, and I have never failed to fail. Back to failing. Sweet leaf. Pain. Pain. You know you're right. Yeah, I do. I know I'm right here. It's so warm and calm inside, I no longer have to hide. There's talk about someone else. Sterling silver begins to melt. I didn't even know that was in here. Nothing really bothers her. She just wants to love herself. Wow. I will move away from here. You won't be afraid of fear. No thought was put into this. I always knew it'd come to this. Wow, pain. Yeah. And then how many times did I... Oh, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right. Let's call it a 13 because it's circled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rights. Actually, if this is 5 rights, and this is 12 right, V would be the 5, 12, but it's like all circled, 13? Where's the 8? Is there 8? No, there's 5 panes. Actually, the 8 could be, if there's 5 panes here, and 5 you know your rights here, kind of makes a fly speck of 5, 12, and 5. And before when they say it, they say 3 and 3. You know, your 3 and your 5 is your 8. Huh. All together now is like 13. If you circle it all, 12 becomes a 13, but your 5 remains a 5. And there's your 8 when you... I don't know. No thought was put into this guy. Okay, that's creepy. Alright, now this is hilarious. Torn guy. Wow. Other lyrics? Nice. Lovely. Yeah, was to cry guy. It's like the apocalypse is gonna be like a sob fest. Okay, like I don't know. I might be right. I feel very right. Well, you couldn't be that man I adored. You don't seem to know, seem to care what your heart is for. But I don't know him anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I've totally changed, man. I am totally not the same person I was like 6 months ago, let alone like 5 years ago. There's nothing where he used to lie. There's nothing where he used to lie. Interesting. The conversation has run dry. That's what's going on. Nothing's fine. I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. I'm cold and I'm shamed, lying naked on the floor. Illusion never changed into something real. I'm wide awake and I can see the perfect sky is torn. Anyway. Yeah, are you torn? I'm not torn. Alright, so, ye are the light of this world. I think we covered death. Did we cover death enough? Death. You're a light, you see a light, you go to the light, you connect this bridge that shouldn't be connected to re-enter into the earth, into you know, this rat race, this literal like infinite knot of not understanding balance. To understand balance, you got to understand that a 3 is a 1. The 110, the 8, and the 13 make a 3, and the 3 is a 1. And to understand a 3 is a 1, you make a 1 by 5, because it's 1 of 7 of 13 of 110 of 2143. And when you make that 1 by 5, the goddamn cell closes, then you can understand energy, and then, I don't know, run all your shit off magnets and coil and a little bit of water, and I don't know what else. And some, like, lab and testing. But yeah, these are hilarious, man. Spirit moves through all things. How can anyone hurt a child? Yeah. Anchor the energies and recode the crystal sun disk. I multi-billion-dollar vaccine business. I don't trust people with pretty much anything. I like my own parts. Like, like I'm not balanced, okay? Like I can get a tattoo, I can get ear pierced, I can get lose more teeth. You're gonna be out of balance. It's not a big deal. But I like to have my own pieces and my own parts. And I think like I'm fine. I really have a problem with like babies are born and like they couldn't be any more pure than a baby. But we gotta like put vaccines in them right away. What the fuck is that? Okay? Like oh, you can't justify risking the health of your baby by what? Having faith in numbers and the truth. And if you live your life in absolute truth, you might learn some things. Be able to keep yourself, your flesh, healthier, stronger, live longer. Now, I can't really test out my theorem until I am forced with that choice. But really, life is but a dream, guy. And if you were to come back, it would just the darkness would just start to dissipate as light would just fill your vision again. And then you believe what you see once again. I don't sit up and take a shit. 52 letters. That's your A to capital A. Listen, my lord. Like, there you go. Narcissistic rage. Yeah, rage. And then I put some Rage Against the Machine. You should listen to Take the Power Back, guy. The rage is relentless. We need a movement with a quickness. You are the witness of change, and to counteract, we gotta take the power back. Okay? This is undeniable that these numbers are in every movie, and if that's undeniable, and I did this after I made that, they must know about that. Keep thinking, like in Indiana Jones and like whatever movie that was with the crystal skull. Crystal skulls. How many holes are in the skull? You have 7 holes in your face. But apparently your skull has 13 holes in them now. Go look it up. You have 13 holes in your skull. But a bunch of them are hidden by the flesh and skin and stuff. But you have 7 visible holes. 1 of 7 of 13. Really? In your face. Huh. It's very annoying. These are for the Jesus people. His Royal Highness of Heaven, Archangel Michael. Like, okay, just a bunch of words that mean a number that people believe. There's no magical fairy guy. In all your life, and all the people you've known, how many of them have ever seen anything magical happen? And you were waiting for what? You're waiting for a savior? You're waiting for the day that comes where you are saved by Jesus? Wow. By God? By Vishnu? By whatever religion's deities are? You're waiting for death. You're waiting for it to become completely dark so that your path is clear right in front of you. So you don't gotta think anymore. And you can be like, oh, this must be the answer. Wrong. What does a hangman game symbolize? Badness? You think a hangman game where you have words and a guy on a noose is a bad thing? What do you draw when you draw a hangman? You draw the ground, and then you draw the angled lines to make sure that it looks like ground. Let's say the interior walls of the beach ball of cellular Earth. Alright, and then you have a line that goes like up, maybe to the middle, and it kind of like curves down and comes back because that singularity of light receives and transmits. And where is it connected to? What's the first thing you draw when you draw a hangman? The head. Okay. It looks like a line coming out the top of your head. It's like your crown chakra. You are a receiver and a transmitter. That's how cool your body is. You have 5 receive senses and 1 transmit sense, and your transmit comes from your crown chakra, which is spirit. It creates a circuit where your feet are literally grounded to the earth, the inside walls of the beach balls. You receive the senses around you, and it is up to you to figure out what the meaning of life is, man, what the purpose is here. What is the lesson we're supposed to be learning? And I do believe it's about energy. And you take in all your little observations, and you look around, you mosey around, you try to make the best out of it, and you get tired, you go to sleep and whatever, but everything gets sent. Everything, your whole movie that you experience is probably sent to the center. Heaven. Infinitesimal singularity. In the middle of cellular Earth. Where the Akashic records are stored, where your numbers are transmitted, received, and then I think broadcast to everybody else. And everyone works this way. But you have to be resonating on a certain vibration to maybe be in tune with other people's synchronicities, and you see lots of magical things start to happen that are just like crazy coincidences, right? It makes a Taurus, the hangman. You know, you're lifted off the ground. Okay. Anyways, you're floating in air. Okay, and the whole thing about the axles, okay, and the cellular, the fishbowl reference, all the fishbowl things they keep seeing. The center of the battery has to have liquid in it. Okay, every other thing I've ever seen about that magnetic motor or whatever, it's in air. Okay, if you had it all perfectly lined up using precision, like whatever fabrication, it wouldn't rotate because you need a wobble. And air provides that because of your hand wobbling, and then you can't sit there and turn an axle like that forever, guy. When you have a tilt on the magnet, on the axle, between the rings in heaven, and you have 14 axles going in there, and you replace the medium of air with water, that's where your slow and steady wins the race mentality of turning, of revolutions, of these axles comes into play. When you turn the thing on, you don't get power right away, I bet. I bet it takes like, seconds or hours or minutes or whatever, like days, weeks, months. How long does you have to let it run before it's turning fast enough to produce the juice it should be producing? I think that's where the Earth is right now. We're in the point of time where we're past due on having this technology. Now, I mean, 3D printing is quite new, maybe. So maybe we are right on time. But could you make one of these out of carving stone, maybe? Maybe. I've heard of Iraqi free energy devices that were powered by a candle, which means that the electrolysis happening in the fishbowl produces oxygen and hydrogen. The hydrogen has to be burned off. Powered by a candle? Sure, guy. Anyways, nothing new under the sun, guy. He will raise the battle cry. Yeah, it's up to you. Like, I can't do anything alone. I can yell in the corner of the street all I want and shake them. I'll be in the cops, whatever, in some cell, in some cell, faster than you would possibly imagine. And you think I can talk to those people? No. You can't force anyone. You can't force your values on anyone. You can't force your spirituality on someone. But you can provide a pretty interesting argument based on, I don't know, cellular mathematics. You could call me a liar all you want. I'm just coming up with kind of like a final conclusion to this whole madness. I think death would be like the final conclusion to this madness. Loki. Fucking angel of death. Austin Lee Meredith, the angel of death. It destroys your ruler's paradigm. That's Armageddon. That's the apocalypse. It's when the sheep smarten up. Maybe they turn into wolves. I think everyone should be forgiven, personally. Okay, everyone. All the bad people. Like George Bush, I would give him a hug. Don't care. Which one? I guess Junior would be less squishy than Senior. Just whatever, okay? This was needed to get to here. It is here, it is now. This has happened. What do we do going forward? Go, 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 in my mind. But, depreciates the natural world. Lovely. See defense of true Jesus Christ. Yeah, I said what to that. Who has divine genes? All of us. God will be with us all today. Good. You're a witness. The devilish clown. Is war inevitable? The greatest messenger who is God. We are all God. Satan uses women to define mankind. Thrice in my life I've come close to death. Probably more than that. Okay. Nemo lives in a bowl. There's water in this guy. Wrath of Holy Spirit. Both Moses and Jesus are demiurges. And I looked it up. It says being responsible for the creation of the universe in particular. The universe. The galaxy. Best kept secrets of the government. This is a very strange place indeed. Holy corrupt, I am well aware. Satan uses everything, Damn, you guys are stupid. Wow. I am here to stand for what is right. I don't want to die before Christmas. There you go. What, your old illusion? The only thing you have to lose are your illusions. Go watch the movie Instinct with another Anthony Hopkins video where he's crazy. Okay, so we got Proof and Instinct. And Cuba Gooding Jr. is in that movie. What does Anthony Hopkins take away from Cuba Gooding Jr.? Not his freedom, his illusions. And Cuba Gooding Jr. in that movie is like the little Mason that could, and Donald Sutherland's like the more experienced Mason that could. But they still know nothing. Everyone's deceived, okay? Whatever. The people that are in this whole like Illuminati thing or whatever, Hollywood, the thing they sell out to, the Luciferian occult, the whole thing. It's a story that tells a certain pattern of numbers. And when these people live in their now with the knowledge of the truth from a different story, they're like, wow, this demon shit is powerful. They've been deceived. Everyone has been deceived, okay? We are literally being pelted with MK mind control shit all the time, which is basically creation. It's in every song. It's in everything. It's in everything. You gotta see it for what it is. At least interpret it differently, because what it literally means, or what you think it literally means, is wrong. There you go. Your old world is dead. Wow. They all mimic Zeus and deny him. Donald John Trump, USA President. Sure. The highest secrets of the Shining Ones. Biblical Kang, head of the Sumerian House of Kish. No idea what that means. The Galactic Federation of Light are Luciferian. Okay, when I used to listen to that old channel, whatever, those robot voices that tell you like this awesome message about like how the disclosure is gonna happen. Disclosure is gonna happen. You're being pelted with disclosure in everything. What they should be teaching you is the most important thing in the world to me is to not forget about plus ones. Now, think about this word. Okay? Cursive writing. Cursive. What happens when you write in cursive? It's all one line. So it doesn't matter what you write with that one line. It's an infinite representation of one. Okay? Because the angles of all your little loops and everything are pretty unique, I'd say. And if you were to take that one as a character in an alphabet, well, you'd have a pretty advanced, crazy alphabet now, wouldn't you? Now, if everything is number and the words you're creating are number and you're not leaving room for plus ones of every letter, I'd say you're cursing God. Now, what do they make you do? Put your little John Hancock on things. What's that? Usually it's cursive. They don't like you to print. They tell you where to print your name, and then they tell you where to sign your name. Most people have a first name and a last name. Maybe they're signing with a 1 that's all together. Maybe they're signing with a 2. Maybe they're signing with a 3 or 4. Your straw man is created as an infinite 1. Oh. I've never liked writing in cursive writing. I always like comic books and how basically the little bubbles of text are like art, you know? I always found like a lot of the different fonts that different artists use were pretty cool. So I always like to, whatever, chicken scratch stuff like that. Galactic Federation of Light or Luciferian. Yeah, they're not teaching you about this. This is the light. This is light bending in air. This is knowing self. Like what I talked about when I talked about dying is understanding self, and self is self. We talked a lot about galaxies. We talked a lot about universes. You and I versing. This is the Milky Way galaxy. Understand yourself. You're a being of light. You're a lot of light. Maybe you'll absorb that light that you see when you die. It becomes part of you. Because it's like a infinite to 1, and you're letting that 1 win every time. Huh. God's not going to like me when I die. I'll tell you that much. I'll have some things to say. What the fuck are you here is what he's going to say. Or she's going to say. Fear is a disease that can consume the soul. Wow. Talking about death. Yeah, fear. Your fear of death. Consume the soul, guy? God's last plague on earth sins is that bad. Yeah, things are this bad. I'm pretty fucking horrified with everything right now. Many false allegations have been made against me. Whatever. I got thick skin, guy. And poured out his vial upon the earth. I just get pissed off when I'm telling you valuable knowledge about diamonds, gold, and silver, and I still have assholes who are ignorant. Who judge a book by its cover. You don't even know the math to judge the cover in the first place. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. If science cannot explain it, they deny it. I think math is a little bit more pertinent. The perfect Jesus Christ, the Son of God, holy number 31 and 13. There you go, 31 and 13. I've already been there. Holy Spirit is the last symbol of doom, guy. I think I'm full of it, so get ready for doom. I'm slowly losing respect for him. Good. Good. Go away then. Too much repeat trauma to person is, my love and I, whatever. It's all to him that we're not together. Sure. He sold himself out to evil for money. Sure. Most mentally gifted woman ever born. See, it's like the genders are reversed. Eh? He, him, woman. Most mentally gifted woman. He sold himself out for evil and money. It's all to him that we're not together. How could I ever live without you? Seriously. I'm very annoyed right now. I lost one of my front teeth. Aliens are intelligent, not spiritual. Yes, they know about math. You don't. There are no shortcuts to anything. He will shelter you with his wings. Sure, yes, I'm trying to bring you under my little whatever tarp. Spiritually, it's called Sodom in Egypt. Reincarnation of Alistair Kelly. How do I know who I really am and when? Holy Goddess, wisdom of the Trinity. Austin, the ninth dimensional angelic being. Remember I was saying that Austin was going to become a 10th dimensional being? Well, guess that would make him have to be a ninth dimensional being to graduate. Yeah, this is what I think. Like social media to me is when you put stuff down on social media, every character that you put in social media gets sent to some computer where it does gematria on you. Ever think of that? Ever think of that Facebook? Ever think that Facebook, which everyone knows, has some handshaking agreement with the American government, and they have all these D-Wave computers and everything everywhere. What if they're just taking what you're saying and doing gematria on you to know how to better attack that soul to keep them a subservient slave? Like, what are they literally creating? Looks like they're nice and ignorant numbers, or are these numbers reaching like retardedness? Like every time I write a list now, I don't even like. Nothing surprises me anymore. It's just you could get the same number writing whatever you write, but you got to act in truth and like know about truth. And truth is not what you know it is. Truth is what you can prove mathematically. Numbers don't lie, guy. Assholes lie. Yeah, all judged by universal platinum laws. They can't even hide. They can't even hide from what they've done. Arcade Fire cannot hide. Beck cannot hide. Do I want to lynch them? No. I want to party with them. But at the same time, you know, that that needs a little bit of work. Like, love your enemy and war will become peace. Wow, that is like, I'm not even reading ahead, guy. Everything now staring at me, and behind that is the 76. And okay, like I get it. They're the necessary evil. We were supposed to wake ourselves up. You know, back to the Matrix, right? You can't be told the Matrix is. You have to experience it for yourself. Like you have to kind of like wake yourself up. You got to convince yourself. Maybe this is not allowed to exist because if this did exist and I were to build one and show you, you would blindly follow this quote unquote spiritualness I have or faith in whatever. I have faith in me. I have faith in that. I have faith in numbers. I have faith in decoding the first page of the Bible because it needed to be done. It had to be done. If you don't understand the first page, like all my life, man, if you don't understand the first page of the Bible, or if you read the first page, read the last page, you pretty much get the book. I've tried that, and I don't get the book when I do that. I have no idea what that means. Corporations control all the water. Lovely. United States Department of Defense. Lovely. Yeah. FVA guy. I don't want to read that. Yeah. So I do this on the fly. You know, like I'm not. I could make a video on my computer and then upload it on my computer and be able to upload whatever length of video I want to upload, and I could do that just fine. But I don't. Like I just. Okay. Chair. CH. AIR. What is a chair? Chair is just a 32 or 42. That's 4 legs and a seat in the back, really. A seat in the back are planes. One-dimensional lines are the 4 legs. I guess from that point of view, it'd be a 240. Because I'm not counting any dots. I'm counting 4 one-dimensional legs and 2 two-dimensional planes. So that'd be 240. I'll put the 4 up and have a 2 and a 0. 420, you know? 21 is just a circled 20, and I believe that circled 20 is circled 4 times for 420. There. Chair means center of the heart. On the 9th row, third column of the 8-bit creation cell. Superman, like knowledge is power. Knowledge is money. Not knowledge is power and money. Money. Gold, silver, diamonds, guy. Useless. Right? Just glad it took some time to calm down from earlier. I just I'm done. It'd be cool if all I had to do was go somewhere or whatever, live there for a bit with some people. They're useful. Make this thing work or not, and then be like, there. You see? Or be like, no, it doesn't work. And then I can go crazy on trying to make it work. And everyone can laugh at me or whatever, I don't care. But it's gotta be attempted. And if it's not by me, it'll be by somebody else. It's not hard. You have a reference. Now, the reason I haven't gone and done, before my videos, I used to talk a lot about the dimensions and everything, and all that stuff, and I kind of gave it up because I was like, nah, not actually creating one of these yet, so all you gotta know is that it's 2x2x2 inside 6x6x6 inside an 8x8x8, where the scale is, 1 is equal to 60 millimeters. But between that 2x2x2 and that 6x6x6, there's two more things. I'm gonna guess a 3x3x3 and a 5x5x5. Interesting, isn't it? And then your wheels just kind of went like, 3s and then 5s. The math is dead simple for the wire. The wiring will take a long time. A lot of soldering. A lot of wire. Just adding 3-volt voltage sources in series. If you add voltage sources in series, your current gets halved. And who gives a shit about the current? Because we don't want any current. We just want the voltage. And if we get the voltage up to what we need it to be, we can power a neighborhood. The current comes from the spinning wheel around the solenoids, the toroidal solenoids. The 8 magnet wheel and the 42 magnet wheel going around all the solenoids. That's your current. And your voltage is just that axle will be powered. Positive in heaven, in the water, creating electrolysis. Negative on the axle, which part of that axle is in the water. It's your spark gap, is the water. I'm sure it has to be silver water or salt water. Silver water with salt water. I don't know. Maybe all your... I don't even know, guy. So, again, I keep thinking the Philosopher's Stone is changing things to gold, changing metal to gold, changing metal to gold. What if the whole thing changes to like silver and gold when power is formed? And that would be a magicness stuff. I'm allowed to think about a magicness stuff sometimes here and there. This is just numbers, guy. So, and really deep meaning behind everything. That's crazy. Like, this is, I literally think, the point of death. Your decision. An 8, where the 8 and the 110 will make a 14 in the end, for the 14 axles of cellular Earth. Or going that way is a backwards 31, circled. 32 magnets. And you're making a V. 32 times 5 is 160 magnets. You have 160 magnets on your X, Y, Z, and then your 2 eyes and diagonals. It's so synchronistic. 160 plus 14 is 174. 174. Now check this out over here on this side. When this folds over to this side, very important. I've been always looking for this, and I think I found it between the right eye and the left eye of Armageddon. Now this is an upside down face. So if this is God's left, when it's flipped up, this eye will be on God's left on top, but you'll be looking at it, it'll be on your right side. This is an actual right, but it's not upside down. Anyways, 1 of 7 of 13 of 110 would be one of your eyes. The other eye would be 1 of 174 of 100 of 500. And I've always been saying that that should really add up to 874. It doesn't, because 500 plus 100 plus 174 is 774. But here's the difference. Your 1, what is your 1? Well, if a 1 is equal to a 3 and a 1 is equal to a 5, I'm going to guess a 1 is equal to a 2, a 1 is equal to a 4. A 1 is equal to 100, guy. What do you have here? 174, 100, 500. They're all in the hundreds. The circle that goes around it is 100. There's your 874 magnets needed in that base unit. Not including the additional wheels that stick off the faces and vertices. That's crazy. Left eye, right eye. Flipped, maybe upside down, backwardsness, you know? So I don't know. I think this is pretty much truth. Like, the Armageddon thing, we can all find our names in Armageddon. We can all find some sort of balance in Armageddon. No one is more better than anyone else. Trust me on this. I don't think I'm special. I hate myself more than I hate all of you. Yeah? Every day. I don't give a shit, guy. It's God in numbers, guy. It's like your 4 is here, your 6, 5 and 7 is a heart. This is a heart. It's like, that's a 7, and that's a 5 and a 0. 5 and a 0 is a 6, a 76. A 7 and a 5 and a 0, and you cross them, I guess, you make a 76, or you make a 76. It's just projections. We gotta like fold our friggin' illusion, guy. We gotta like get to the bottom of it. So I don't even know what I'm doing. Like I literally don't even know. So I'm gonna look here. What did I do here? Oh, yeah, I've been connecting some mega dots lately. I actually wrote this last night, but I was too tired and I passed out before I was able to do anything about it. But over here I said, yeah, this sudoku puzzle. Yeah. I decided to speak again. Yeah, I've been thinking about this. The proper number sequence. Okay, let's take a look at that. Okay, so you got 1, 0, 8 in the middle, the 0 and the 7 for balance. You know? Nine. Nine can be the 7. 2 of like again, like what's an X? An X is just a whoosh whoosh. It's 2 1s. It's 2 1s. It could be one in the foreground, one in the background. There doesn't have to be a zero-dimensional singularity between them. They could be 2 1s. 7, 8, 9. There. 1, 0, 8, 9. Maybe when you get to the X and you solve for X, you're closest to 76. Maybe this half folds into this half, so that'd be your 2. And once you get to the 2, you go backwards. You go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. And that 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 is what makes the W. So you made a V, and then you made another V, and you put them together. You took a 22 and you circled it to get a 23. You took a 22, put a line on top of it, and understood it was a 23. The cross. Addition. You know, there's multiplication too. I haven't really played much with that. Like, you know, there's an 11, you know, there's an M. No, there's an M. I never use that M, but I guess I could if you want to make balance better. All the letters are there. You can find any word there you want. But yeah, 108927654 3. Because this 3 gets mapped up there. Anyway, new alphabet. Yeah, it's a joke. Yeah, this is before I made the thing. Yeah, soccer. Yeah, here you go. Fractal geometry of nature. Yeah, you can read these, whatever, they're here. Yeah, here, this is about it. I'm off, and I'm gonna check the internet. So, like, yeah. I'm not angry about you, I'm proud. Hope that's something talking to me. Yeah, rational. What are they spraying? Wear your heart on your sleeve. Here you go. God's Queen of Heaven demands perfection. Innocent until proven guilty. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong here except, I don't know, exposing assholes of life. You know? I wonder if I'm really doing anything wrong by doing all this. What is this, hate speech? Is this fake news? No, fake news is what you listen to every day. The educated guy. Alright, so like, I don't know. I'm just trying to be real because I've been really angry. Okay? Gabriel. Controlla. Government is demonic. Yeah, because they're all part of Freemasonry. And like gender inversion because they think it's correct to look like a female because you're born with a female soul if you're a guy? I think it couldn't be any more out of balance than that. If I had the knowledge that I had a female soul, I'd probably want to be a male flesh so that we can balance that shit out. And same thing with females having male souls, guy. And the thing is that you, slaves of the earth who buy your cover girl makeup, it's to cover up the fact that they're not girls. They need to paint the pig and get the other beautiful women of the world to slather on a bunch of crud that makes them look cheap so that the trannies of TV can fit in with the collective norm. Gotta forgive them, but like they're teaching your kids indirectly what they should be doing to be the prettiest they can be or something, you know? You got a bunch of ladyboys teaching your children what it's like to be a woman. That's fucked up. And you should get a little angry about that. They look weird. They don't look like women. And guys look weird. I don't want to talk about that any more than I just did. Okay? You do your own research. You go tell me that a bunch of like kings and queens from the world, or like first ladies and presidents, or prime ministers or whatever, don't look a little sketchy. So, yeah, it's very insane. The religion of war. Wow. Yeah, I don't like programmers. I don't like people programming my mind with MK Ultra shit that I can't avoid. I don't like that. It made me smart and made me think that only that is possible. Kind of like a scab that I want to pick. Austin doesn't feel anything. Exactly. I see through your lies and bullshit. A fool and his money are soon parted. Hopefully they give in. Seriously. Like what? Penance is like what? What's your net worth, Bill Gates? Should be forced to have a commoner's job. Is that what you call flipping a burger, Bill? Oh, Bill, you're gonna have to get better on that. Guess you're gonna have to scrub the floor. You know, think about flipping those burgers better, Bill. People like that, man, could literally change the world themselves. They have the money to buy the parts needed to make these. Keep thinking that Crystal Skull movie, that warehouse they're in, all those boxes. Hopefully they're all pre-made cellular energy devices for everyone once the jig is up. I don't know. I walk away from things I talk about all the time. My mind is everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. Yeah, one is 3 is the one, and 5 is the one. Very important things you gotta know. I don't know. If I'm gonna go and make videos about like really detailed cellular energy device dimensions, like I don't want to do it for nothing. Take some time. I would want something out of it if I did that. I'm tired of working for free here. My life is shit. I think I'm pretty smart. I think I deserve to get paid for the work that I do. In all fairness, I'm living in my mother's basement, and I'm on edge. I'm always on edge. I refuse to get a job to waste my time. And how do you get a job to collapse the world if it works? I don't know. Get your money out of the stock market as fast as you can, and the energy sector. I think that's going to be a very wise investment to make going forward. Yeah, I'm just saying. Think about it. Okay, you need the resistance. Like the energy device that Gerald Morin was making, man, you can like hang on to that as hard as you want, and you can't stop it because of the torque that exists. You know how much energy is in that torque that is not being used? Really good bearings, really balanced, very precise windings, very precise spacing of the positioning of the solenoids from the magnets on the rings, everything counted very precisely, operating in almost optimum, least friction behavior. Slow and steady wins the race. You don't need that friction. All you need is the friction is of a bomb-shaped axle in that little bit of water with a magnet on the end. And you're thinking about it, in that icosahedron, in that dodecahedron, in the cube, that water has a little bit of air on top, but under that water, once it gets spinning fast enough, I think all the bubbles are going to converge and make an air bubble. And that's cellular Earth. That is light coming in from the outside of the cube, in through a little hole in the dodecahedron, in through a little hole in the icosahedron. Because you need light. It's going to be all 3D printed and assembled. You're going to have to make 8 pieces, glue them all together, print out 8 pieces all the same for the icosahedron, 8 pieces all the same for the dodecahedron, epoxy them together with all your magnets in there and everything. You need a hole because you got to fill it with water. And the water's going to want to spill out of where the axles are going through, but you need to make those reservoirs, those 5 testicles, and have them pump back to the top, I guess, or go through a reservoir or something. We got to talk about that. Spin the wheels. And they will eventually achieve balance. Perpetual balance. And I believe when that happens, and your air bubble's created, you're literally containing a black hole. Because in that air bubble will be an infinitesimal singularity, which is where all light comes from, in that little planet, the plane of ET. You're creating a galaxy for a consciousness on the walls of a planet. And if your neighbor does the same thing, isn't he making a V somehow? 2 worlds colliding? Imagine you put them both in shopping carts and had Steve-O on one and Johnny Knoxville on the other, and they were working and they ran into each other. Everybody laughs. Fractal geometry of nature. Yeah. You never would have thought in a million years you'd hear Steve-O and fractal geometry of nature in the same sentence. But anyways, okay? People often identify passion with anger, and that is in need of revision with Kevin. So, I'll just leave it at that. So anyway, what do we got here? Alright, a lot. Cool. Why drive? Yeah, Satan is Jesus, guy. You're both. You're a left and a right. You are Satan and you are Jesus. I am Satan and I am Jesus. I do. I don't know what all these things mean. Egyptium. I've never heard that word. So yeah, maybe the days of the week are all messed up. Yeah, guy, we're on the same wavelength, Hypernova. This is nuts, man. Yes, do not have fear. Cool, I like that. Muhammad was experiencing the emotion fear. Was experienced? Really? The angel did not take the fear created in that moment of. Really? Did Daniel face the lions? Okay, like Samson. Samson, that's hilarious. Mason, but not. Masons. Samson is Masons. Are we Austin Lee Meredith? That's the thing, man. I don't know, man. Austin Lee Meredith. I still believe we're in his battery that he created when he went crazy when Sheila and Amber Meredith left. You know? No Sam, Mason, Sheila Amber Grievous, Graves is her maiden name. That's what I think about that. I think that, again, all this free energy shit, it's a love story. I took it upon myself to figure out what was wrong. In the end, I found I don't think that anything is wrong with me. Just with a lot of other things. My journey has been a crazy one. One that would push many people away. And it did. I knowingly continued to do the thing that would push people away continuously because I felt that it's important and that I was onto something. But as far as I can see, no one has ever documented. I don't know of any other person who can claim they can ruin all of music and movies and religion by understanding a mathematical sequence and seeing things from a different point of view. Okay? I always say I'm connecting dots with lines. These days I feel like I'm connecting like the lines that are hanging off of tremendous geometric shapes together. Like there's this giant chunk over here and a giant chunk over here, and this guy a V over here, and this guy over here only got like one. And I'm like, okay, you gotta like make a V here, and then it's like whoa, and then that's what it feels like. It's like moving mountains guy. That's what it feels like. So the Armageddon thing is weird. Hearing the first letters of the words of the songs and watching them bounce around in equilibrium in like classically renowned songs and current songs and everything now. Like you have everything you need right now to go make your own videos like I do about your own songs and favorite songs and how it resembles this shit. You have everything you need, I believe. Other than perhaps you haven't convinced yourself. That's the only thing I can imagine is that you haven't convinced yourself. The only way you're going to convince yourself is if you go through what I've done in my own way with your own words. I say random shit. I make random titles. A lot of people will be like, well, that doesn't mean anything because it's all crazy and spelt wrong or whatever. But I'm like, I was testing it sometimes, Purposely spelling things wrong, purposely spelling things all correctly, not using capitals because I don't want to think about an extra 26, not using apostrophes because I don't care about the extra 2, or a comma with an extra 2, or a period, an extra 1. Keep it simple, stupid. So I broke it down to lowercase. Let's just keep it raw. Sometimes I go uppercase, but then, it shows you how much emphasis I'm giving that word or sentence. Okay. I'm done. I'm done being insulted. All my life, I don't like being insulted. Okay. I freeze and I get angry. You can't justify what you don't like in this world, then you have no idea on how to change it. If you don't like something, say something. Maybe you took it the wrong way. I don't know. It's probably why I'm alone. It's because my words often go, they are taken the wrong way. It just happened last night, with my buddy. Took my words the wrong way. I don't mean shit towards him. I just assume too much. I'm way ahead. And something you might say that I don't answer and talk about in a roundabout fashion triggered something in my brain over here, and you had no idea how I got that out of that. And I don't have the time to explain every little thing I do. But yeah, it seems like no one wants to work with me on this, which is, again, fucking strange. Like, I can only assume two things. Their ego's hurt and they don't want to work with someone and they don't want to stop what they're doing because what they're doing is super important. Or they don't believe it. It's numbers, guy. And I'm not making videos of the videos that I've already made on how to get to here. I don't even know how I can get to here again. I don't know what order it took, but I documented it along the way. And why would I use my time, which is valuable to me, which I'm not getting paid for, to go back in time, to do things I've already done, to give it to you on demand for free? Like, I don't know. Sorry if that sounds bad. To want to be paid for your time that you're working. What a fucking bizarre concept. If everyone else is getting paid and I gotta abide by the same rules as everyone else, doesn't that seem fair? I guess it doesn't. Does anyone have a better idea on how to change things? Fear. It's all in your head. How many songs exist? It's all in your head. Like, I'm just gonna put that. It's all in your head. Yeah, lyrics. Gorillas. Oh, 'cause it's all in your head. I'm happy. That song. All in your head. Yeah, Gorillas. Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood. It looks like a tiny little axle with a magnet on the end. In the most simplest form. A CE. I ain't happy, feeling glad. It's not happy. So you're not HAPPY. You're Glad, or G Glad. So happy would be on the left, Happ, and Y would be balanced. I don't know. You're glad, Glad. I'd rather be on the right than the left. I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. Why am I here? I'm here for not this, right? 3 is 1. 3. Anyways. Finally, someone let me out of my cage. Now time for me is nothing, 'cause I'm counting no age. Now I couldn't be there. Now you shouldn't be scared. I'm good at repairs, and I'm under each snare. Intangible. Bet you didn't think so. I command you to. Panoramic view. Look, I make it all manageable. Pick and choose. Sit and loose. All you different crews, chicks and dudes. Who you think is really kicking tunes? Why am I here? I'm here for not any of that. Oh. Wow. Picture you getting down in a pitcher tube. Like you lit the fuse. You think it's fictional? Mystical? Maybe. Spiritual? Hero who appears in you to clear your view when you're too crazy? Whoa! Hero who appears in you to clear your view when you're too crazy. Was that Austin Lee Meredith? Lifeless. To those, the definition for what life is. Priceless. To you because I put you on the high shit. You like it? Gun-smoking righteous with one toe? You're psychic among those? Possess you with one go? Why am I here? I ain't happy, I'm feeling that, okay. It's all in your head. The essence, the basics with dots and lines, Roman numerals? Really? Platonic solids. Without did you make it, although me to make this, childlike in nature. Rhythm, you have it or you don't. That's a fallacy. I'm in them, every sprouting tree, every child of peace, every cloud at sea. You see with your eyes, I see destruction and demise. That's right, corruption in disguise. From this fucking enterprise. Now I'm sucked into your lies. Wow. Through Russell, not his muscles, but percussion he provides. For me as a god, y'all can see me now 'cause you don't see with your eye, you perceive with your mind. That's the inner. So I'ma stick around with Russ and be a mentor. Bust a few rhymes so motherfuckers remember where the thought is. I brought all this so you can survive when law is lawless. Right here, feeling sensations that you thought were dead. No squealing, remember. Finally, that it's all in your head. I think you got more truth out of this song than you did the Bible. I don't know. Wow. Clint Eastwood. That's one motherfucker you don't mess with. I'm gonna be an awesome old man. Oh my god. Like, Clint Eastwood ain't got shit on what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be like, wow. Like, Clint Eastwood cubed in terms of, like, intensity of old madness. I feel like I'm old. I feel like I'm an ancient guy. That was fucked. I know that song. I just... Fucking weird guy. Okay. Fuck music. This is nuts. Oh man. I don't know what I have. I don't know what I haven't. Alright, so... Samson. Middle hurts. Wow. Hey, here's another fun thing. Here, I am pretty much done. I don't know what else I can possibly talk about, but like, I mean, my last name. I think they changed it when my grandfather came here. So it's supposed to be Jano. Oh, sorry. J-A-N. I can't even think right now. J-A-N-O-K. But it's supposed to be Yannick, which is like a Y. But that's in the middle. Y-A-N. Or Y-A-N-O-K. So it does go down, make a T as well, and go up. They changed it, eh? They're changing Y's to J's. You know? Jeremiah Jogger. He's got a pretty epic mullet. No, it's Jeremiah Jogger. He wears 68, guy. 14. 6 times 8 is 48. There are 48 cells in the 8. In the 9 by 5. No, wait. 48, 48, 48. Where's 48? 48 is... 8 by 6. There's no 8 by 6 here. What's 8 by 6? 8 by 6 is 12 times 4. 12. Go to the 12th column. 9, 10, 11, 12. The 12th column, you'll get the 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, you get the 1189. 12 by 4. 12 by 4 will get you everything you need to keep the heart in. Okay, so 6 times 8 is 48. 48 is 12 times 4. 12 times 4 is the right hand of God. 4 first columns down to the 12th row, which would be the 89, tip of the heart. So Jeremiah Yager is obviously 14 magnets of heaven plus the right hand of God. And he's a JJ. JJ. The right hand, the right hand. Unless there's another J. Yeah, JJ, because 5, 9, 10. JJ makes a cross. JJ. That's on the right hand, not like the T. The T is a cross on the left, and that's a JJ. Nice. So Jeremiah Yager is very heavy on the right hand of God with his number, meaning 14 and 48. And he's still playing. Jeez, Jeremiah Jogger. Whatever. Half you guys don't know what hockey is. More than half. Hockey's just that. They play on like 3 of them. They play on that as a 1 by 3. So you take that and you make a 1 by 3 with them, where the middle one is the neutral zone, and the net is heaven. Now, the top net would have the top part of heaven as the net, and the bottom 1 by 3 would have the bottom part of heaven as a net. It's just a stretched out one of those into a 1 by 3. That's what a hockey rink is. Your blue line, your red line, and your blue line are all just the lines of division of the zones created by the 3 different cells that have to join to become hockey. And I'm talking about goalposts everywhere. You don't think football's in here? Football's in here like crazy. You don't think soccer's in here? Soccer's in here like crazy. You don't think baseball's in here? Baseball's in here like crazy. I'm sure of it. I don't have time to look at all these things. I don't care. I have convinced myself. There is so much to do and to reverse engineer with all of our rituals of life. It is not possible for one person to do it all. First of all, I don't even care now what they are. It is what it is. You can continue with your old world where nothing's wrong, or you can wake up to the new one. At the end of the day, that's all it is. No one can save you except yourself. The G's are us. The lowercase and uppercase G's are us. The 40s are us. The 40 of 2 things are us. 42, the answer to everything. 42 is 55 and 1,000. It's what they keep hidden from you on the bottom half of the God particle. You want to talk to me about science and scientists and the news and your Nobel Prize winners and all that? The God particle, the boson Higgs God particle. Really? That's the only God particle I know. I don't know what they're doing over there with that. I really don't care. They're not acting in truth or speaking in truth or doing anything that in 10 years from now will be useful. You know what I'm saying? I want the world to stop and listen. We got to start working together on this. Put it into your own words. And the only way you can totally 100% feel me is to do it to yourself. To put yourself through the same thing I have. But you don't have to make your life a world of shit in doing it. Imagine what you could do if you had encouragement backing you instead of negativity and being constantly hurt. It was needed. It was the fuel that drove my fire. Let's just put it that way. And I guess I wouldn't have had it any other way. Because without that pain, I wouldn't have been brought to this. I don't feel anymore. Nothing surprises me. I would like that back. You know, food has gone to ash in my mouth. Like, I do feel like the alien now. World, it's like a slave race. I'm not doing anything wrong. I don't think so. I'm calling people out. People call people out all the time. They're just words. Get some thicker skin. I don't like ignorance. I don't like ignorance, guy. If you don't like something, tell me what you don't like. I'm not here for fame and glory and fortune. I'm going to repeat myself. I'm here so that my kids and your kids, or the kids of people that you like, can grow up in a better world where they're not slaves, where they don't succumb to the ritual abuse of liars when it comes to the truth about reality, the truth about energy, the truth about the truth. I want all of us to have more money in our pockets and more time. I want people to stop worrying about lack. Because, man, when I see someone in like a first world country worried about losing their first world problems, and I think about, I don't know, like millions of people in another country that don't even have water, it kind of makes me ill. I kind of want to slap that person, but I can't. Because that would be socially unacceptable. But a prison planet filled with retards. I'm just trying to walk my path with my own truth that I think is important because of where it comes from. I don't care what your thoughts are on that book. It's from the first page of it. It's always been there. Just like it's always been in everything. Constantly hammering you with creation. And then they have the audacity to make songs about waking up. Well, if they wanted it to hit hard when it happened, I guess mission accomplished. But, alright. So, like, the scary Ant-Man, guard particle, whatever metal band logo bullshit nonsense, upside down motorcycle, bow tie, and your suit, infinite knot, path of energy, your five platonic solids, your Rick and Morty car battery, your infinite timelines. Those in your frequency that resonate with you, I think that their realities are colliding. Until all the bullshit is filtered out of the galaxy. When all the bullshit is filtered out and everyone understands the truth, we will truly be all on the same, galactic frequency. There'll still be liars, there'll still be assholes, but maybe less. And when you got gematria, you can't lie. You tell a lie, you don't get the same results, man. Like, I don't know. I'm just putting in my own words of mind blastedness, and you can't really put into your own words unless you are mind blasted. And the only way to mind blast yourself is to actually analyze your own words as a creator being. Because you can get all the same numbers that I got by putting in inane shit. Does everything happen for a reason? Or is it all a bunch of coincidences? So, you want to be free, off the grid? That's how. And you want to beat Roy and Rick and Morty? That's how. That's what Rick does. Okay? He's off the grid. Look at him go. It's your life. You only get to live it once, not twice. What does it come down to in the end? Boils down to what? Faith in self. Faith in self. I'm not afraid of anyone, man. I'm not afraid of anything. I'm afraid about the collective and how much time they waste daily on bullshit. That's what I'm afraid of. It's the Simpsons, the aliens and the Simpsons. We must go forward, not backwards, or upwards, or downwards, or side to side, and twirling, always twirling. That doesn't symbolize an axle with a wheel on it. I don't know what does. So, I leave it up to you now. I'm done. Okay? This knowledge is super valuable because it talks about diamonds and silver and gold. Okay? No. I hope I've destroyed your illusions a little bit enough to want to learn how I came up with all this, but this is going to take time. I don't know. Not my fault. It took me a while. It should take you a while. I'm sorry if that doesn't jive with your on-demand lifestyle. I hope it jives with your unlimited bandwidth lifestyle. I don't even know what my next steps are. Please help me. What should I do? Where should I go? Who should I talk to? Who can make this happen? It's like asking the world for 50 grand. So I can continue to eat ramen and buy noodle and buy magnets and just live free for a while. Yeah. So yeah. Yes. I don't know. Never had faith before, never liked all that religion shit, never liked any of that. I'm a numbers guy. And now here I am, doing this. Speaking of death. Speaking of dots and lines when you die. How every soul or atom that's in your universe could literally be a projection of everyone and everything in the earth, if you look at it from a certain point of view. And since we all get to share the same cats and dogs and blades of grass, every atom in me, which is everything in the world for me, is also everything in the world for you, which is also every atom in you. Because we are one, and it's a concept of oneness. Because everything is magnetized light, and light can bend in air, which is received by your curved lenses of your eyes. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm done. I think I'm done. Like literally a diamond, gold, or AG, AU, and looks like a dollar bill with a line, or a dollar bill sign, like an S with a line through it. Like it's money, guy. It's a money ball. Fucking money ball, guy. It's just like I gotta go hide for a long time. I've been actually thinking about that for the whole like whatever. I didn't see the new Star Wars and I don't plan on seeing the new Star Wars for a very long time. I just watched the old new Star Wars for the first time like a couple months ago. And they decoded that and ripped that to shit. So someone told me about the new one. But anyways. Yeah, Luke goes and hides, guy. What does he do? He creates a hologram so big that it drains him and he dies and goes into the Force. Like he creates so the last Jedi. And the Jedis are the assholes. They rule the goy. The keepers of balance and peace, my ass. They stay on the top of the pyramid. The Jedi. Rey's not really a Jedi in my mind yet. She's just someone who picked it up because anyone can do it. Anyone can learn math, guy. Anyone. It's mostly counting. He makes an illusion so big it kills him. No, they seem to be bringing everyone back to life these days. I wonder if he'll be brought back to life. No, he is brought back to life, right? Probably in the blue force, right? He's in the force. He makes an illusion so big, he dies. What am I doing, guy? Am I making an illusion for you? Is this a tale? Is this a yarn? Oh. Hmm. Luke should be destroying the hologram of the illusion which is affecting everyone, not creating a new one. Unless that illusion he creates is for the good to fix everything, which I doubt. Anyways, I think I'm out of steam. I'm tired. Just the metaphors between the song lyrics and the money ball. Oh, fucking money ball. No, that's gonna stick in my head. Great. The money ball. It's a money ball. No one believes me. And no one wants to, no one can, and no one wants to. I don't know. I don't know. I find it hard to go with something so weird. I can't push my own work like it's the gospel. You know what I'm saying? Like I need someone to witness it and agree or disprove it. And if it's agreed upon by a large amount of people, then we should consider the next step. But right now, I'm fighting basically retards on YouTube who know nothing about the truth. And that's taxing on my time and patience. So I'm gonna stop. I want to go somewhere and start somewhere new. I like this platform. I use it as a tool. It works great because I couldn't possibly have all these videos on my computer or my phone. Or I don't like computers. I don't like phones. There, it's for everyone. No, depending on what country you're from, based on whatever assholes rules about allowing to share certain things with people. So, anyways, I'm gonna just call it quits, and I'm good, right? Excellent. We are all Abraham's children. Wow. You want to believe in the fairy tale? Go believe in the fairy tale. Abraham's a fucking word. That fucking word means a number, and it's been overused to death. If you still believe in Magic Land and fucking people from Magic Land, you're lost. I have never seen magic happen. I don't believe in magic. I believe in numbers and things I can prove and things I can see with my eyes and touch with my hand. Fucking God people drive me up the fucking wall. Religion people, Bible people especially, you guys are the most indoctrinated into lies. Like I said, I'm done. For a while. Rethink your life.